Hello, hello. Hi, guys. How is everyone? Happy Sunday. Let me know where you're watching from if you're joining us. So, before I do anything, I have to show you guys. You see this t shirt here? So, if you haven't, this right here, if you haven't got yourself an Ondaba t shirt, this is from our girl, Belinda from Uganda. So you guys might have seen like so many people on social media wearing these t-shirts on airplanes in different countries as they travel. These are super cool. Look at the design. You know, this is what they call chilling with the big boys. So, hey Belinda, I love my t-shirt. I love my Ondaba. I'm so Uganda. Ondaba. Ondaba means, for some of you who do not understand Uganda or some Ugandan languages, so this word Ondaba means do you see me? It's a Luganda word. It's from Baganda tribe. So this means do you see me? Like, with like this signal or sign or something. Like, do you see me? I'm so Ugandan. So hey Belinda, I love my shirt. If you guys haven't got yourself a t-shirt, she actually has different styles. She has different styles, not just this the polo looking one. She has like the longer dresses. She also has sweaters, like hoodies, but they all have her signature logo Ondaba, Uganda Ondaba. But she can also customize it. She can also customize it to your language. So if you are Amunyankole, for example, you can say Nondeba and Uganda Nondeba, whichever language you can speak. If you want to make it in English, you can say Uganda, do you see me? So you can make it whatever you want it to be. She can customize for you. So these are very affordable. They're not sold in dollars, they're sold in shillings. But if you want to pay her in dollars, go for it. Anyways, enough of Kalango for Belinda, but she's my girl and I had to support her. Now, since we're talking about Uganda, where Uganda has moved, since we're going to be celebrating, Uganda will be celebrating its 60th birthday since it got its independence. So we're talking about Uganda things. So you have to bear with us. We are so Uganda today. And of course, I can't forget to shout out to my very good friend. She's based in Germany, but she started a company to empower women, also supporting her local community. Her name is Lydia. She's from the Mountain Elgons. So if you guys can see this, I don't know if you can, it's too bright, but this right here is the best shea butter I have used. If you see my skin, if you guys can see my skin, you always ask me, Brenda, what do you use? This is the stuff that I use. So get yourself one. This is like the mini travel one. She has in different packages. She has different oils as well. But these are made from Uganda and from the Mountain Elgons. Yes, Mountain Elgon is one of the best places we are trying to conserve for tourism as well. It's good for hiking. There's so many activities that you can go and visit Mount Elgon and do while you're there. But hey, Lydia, I love my shea butter. This is Nilotica. It's called Nilotica shea butter. It's on the market in Uganda. And if you're also not in Uganda and you'd like some of this, she can definitely send you some. You guys can chat it out. I'll put her information in the description when we're done with this video, and you guys can definitely reach out to these people and support them. Support Uganda, build Uganda. There we go. All right, cool. Enough of Bulango. I don't know who else I needed to promote today, but you see that that background cloth? It's also from Uganda. The friend made this. Actually, I didn't know we were friends on Facebook until when in one of my videos she was like, Brenda, my gosh, that's my piece. She lives in France now, but she's a great designer. But she used to do some art as well. But she's a cloth designer, so she makes beautiful, beautiful culture dresses. So you can definitely also get yourself this, or she can make you some dresses. And I will put her bio, I mean her description, or her information as well in the description of this video. All right. In the meantime, I'm waiting for the big guys. We're supposed to be chilling with the big boys who are supposed to be telling us what's going to be happening in Uganda in 2022, because they're planning all these amazing travels around the country. And we are supposed to be exploring Uganda. If you haven't been to Uganda, it's about time. Uganda is very secure. Uganda is very friendly. Uganda is very peaceful. So I don't care what you see on the social media, whatever they feed you on your TVs, on CNN, on BBC. I don't know, whichever TVs you guys watch, but Uganda is peaceful. It's been deliberated from the colonialists. This would be its 60th birthday. Okay. Yeah. I'm waiting for these guys who are supposed to be hosting so that they can tell us more about Uganda. But if you've been in Uganda, if you've been to Uganda and you'd like to share your stories with us, we definitely welcome them. If you're not Ugandan mostly, and if you're Ugandan as well, and you've been able to travel around your own country, we would definitely love to see your experiences, to hear your experiences. You can show us your work, what places that you've traveled to. I have to shout out to the best content creators we have in the country, in Uganda, who are doing this to showcase the beauty of Uganda. We have the Mr. Musinguzes. He has a YouTube channel. You guys can check his videos out. They are very cinematic. Do you understand? You are like watching a documentary. We have the Mutambuzes. We have so many. We have Nabs Ara. Those are the girls who are also showcasing Uganda. And there's so many out there that are also non-Ugandans who are showcasing Uganda. You guys can definitely check the videos out. But we shall be creating a joint portal where if you are planning to visit Uganda, you can visit that site, that website, to see which places you can visit, and you'll find some amazing videos on there as well that you can watch from all these different places. Okay. All right, let me first shout out Uganda, my home. I know, Makazi, you love Uganda. I love Kenya too. All right, so let's see here. Let me just a quick shout out. You guys, I have not been feeling so well. So whatever I had, I pray you don't ever get it. It was not fun. It was terrible, I can tell you. You can still hear my voice. It comes and goes kind of thing. But let me know if you can hear me so well, if my voice is clear. Otherwise, I don't want to be sounding like a cockroach. Hi, Vivian. Nice to see you, Viv. Vivian is also from Uganda, living in the US. Oh, that is me. That was me saying hello. Why am I reading my own comments? This is funny. And then we have Patricia. Hi, Patricia. This is my girl. She's also a YouTuber. She's based in Igulu, Alua, Arua, Agulu. One of those, but she showcases like real authentic content of the village, like village life. So check her out as well. We have Angela Kalumba. Hi, Chikazi. How are you doing? How are you doing? She's also a YouTuber. I also went, my birthday just passed last November. Yes, you should get yourself an Ondaba t-shirt. Next time I'm in Uganda, I'm definitely carrying a few for my friends here because most of them are like, what does that mean? What does that mean? So we are definitely getting you some Ondaba t-shirts, yes. But if not, you can contact Belinda. She goes by Belinda Ondaba on Facebook. Belinda Namutebi Ondaba on Facebook. Reach out to her, send her a quick message. Let's promote Uganda outside Uganda, even inside Uganda. You don't have to travel to promote Uganda. You can promote Uganda right within your own country. If you guys know me by now, you're probably wondering, those who do not know me, if you're just joining me for the first time, Brenda here loves to travel. Brenda loves culture. Brenda loves promoting Africa to the rest of the world. I'm originally from Uganda. I was born and raised in Uganda until I was like about maybe 23, and I left Uganda and I now live in the US. So but most people, like when I got here, most people up to now, most people will ask me where I'm from. When if I say from Africa, immediately they'll say, "Are you from Ghana? Are you from Nigeria?" So I found it like, okay, since now I started a YouTube channel, which I started last year during COVID, I decided I should showcase more about Africa to the rest of the world. I could answer some of the questions that people are always asking me about Africa, about Uganda, about different other countries in Africa through my videos. So whenever I travel or whenever I can host any other people who are from different parts of Africa on my channel, that helps me to answer people's questions. That helps me to spread awareness of what countries in Africa are like. Not the Africa they show you on CNN, where kids are starving, where people are dying on the streets and things like that. So we also want to spread more positive awareness about Africa. And this is what we're doing on this channel once in a while when I can. So you'll see videos from different parts of Africa. That would be Zambia, that would be Uganda, that would be Kenya, that would be Zanzibar, places that you can actually travel for vacation. Not always going to the islands, to the Bahamas and all those places, but there are also places, amazing places just like that in Africa that we can definitely visit and you enjoy the tropics. Yes, so many amazing places in Africa that you can visit. Brenda, I also want. Okay, let's see here. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. In the meantime, I'm waiting for these big boys. I'm about to like punch them. You know what I mean? I don't like people who don't keep time. I am on time if I can, but I will forgive them for now. We're in the forgiving season. I just followed you today. Hi, Shakira Birabwa. Thank you so much for following. I hope you hit the subscription button and also the bell so that anytime I post any content, you guys are able to get a notification and you can definitely watch our content. I welcome any feedback, any positive criticism is welcome because I want to just make sure that this channel is a place for everybody to enjoy, to learn about different things in this world. Also to empower. So you find interviews on this channel of like people who are giving other people hope, people who are empowering other people. So you find that I've featured people from different communities who are doing amazing work in like their communities, like empowering women, empowering young teenagers who have been pregnant in the past, things like that. People sharing about their lifestyle, how they have made it from, let's say, how they've moved from Uganda to the US or to Germany. So you'll find such content, but we're just spreading awareness about Uganda today. Hey, big boy.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Isaiah?
Very good. How are you? You can hear
Good,
me
good.
very well?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and
Okay,
clear.
good. Perfect. Awesome. I was just talking, like, as I was waiting, I was just about to say, I'm about to punch you because you're not keeping
No,
time.
no, you must forgive me, please.
Yeah,
It's
you're forgiven. I
technology.
already told the people who are watching. We have about 14 people online who are live with us right now, and
Oh,
they are all commenting. So let's see if you can post in the Big Boys chat group to see if any other people want to join us in the meantime. That would be great, Isaiah.
oh. Let me take a screenshot of this. Then I
Okay.
post in the big boys group, and then ask
Okay.
them to
So I used to see you, but
to.
no, you had a tube till today. Oh, Shakira, thank you so much. I'm so glad you could find me. Oh, hey, Joseph, how you doing? Thanks for joining us. Mwakazi, you need to visit Uganda again. Last time you were there, you're just there for a wedding. But this time you actually need to explore. So I am definitely going to be we're going to be talking about places that you can visit in Uganda and what you can do in those places. And different things have changed in Uganda. It's not what you guys are always seeing on TV. That's what I was just telling you. You always see kids who are starving. Or I don't know, people will ask me, do you guys have roads in Uganda? Yes, we definitely have roads in Uganda. Do you chill with the big boys? Meaning, do you chill with the lions? No, we do not chill. Well, we chill with the lions, but on a safari. So we don't hang out with them in our backyard. So no, that is why you need to visit Uganda, and we are going to be talking about that. So thank you so much for joining. We have about 17 people who have joined us. I just lost Isaiah. Indeed, Uganda. Isaac. Hi, Isaac. Nice to see you again, buddy. Did you get the pandemic? I don't know, Makazi. I actually don't know. I couldn't get a test appointment. It's been crazy here in the US. So many people are sick. So many hospitals are again getting overwhelmed. So even getting an appointment to get tested is a hassle. It is a hassle. But what I did was just to stay home. It's almost 2 weeks now. I just stayed home. I just stayed in my bedroom for the most part, and did like the usual soaps, precautions, and did some concoctions. But I almost believe it's what I had, unfortunately. But hey, everybody's gonna get it at some point. So Andrew Bekwasi, Uganda has a great potential for sports, for conservation, health, and tourism. I can't agree more. Yes, it really does. And this is exciting that we'll be hearing more things about this. You're looking beautiful today. So you mean I don't usually look beautiful? These comments. Let me see here just real quick, and then I'll get to you, Isaiah. Thanks so much. I love your presentation. Thank you, Musa. Musa is best in Zanzibar. So actually, this Isaiah, this is one of the other people that I would like to get in touch with. He does tourism travel in Zanzibar, so he always does like the Zanzibar Island, those amazing tours, and he has a big following of Americans as well who go to visit the Zanzibar. So this is actually really cool. So thanks, Musa, for joining us. And Jenny, welcome. Okay, we have Miherza here. Do not forget to remind your followers that Uganda is the most competitive destination for travelers and tourism investors alike. We have the most attractions spread over a smaller geographic area. I can't disagree. This is absolutely right. And Isaiah will be dissecting this, or any other people who might want to chip in. That's absolutely fine. But yes, so Isaiah, I'll continue with these comments later. So I'll just keep going to them later. So Isaiah, how are you doing?
Very good. I'm quite good. I'm here. That's what matters most.
You're here. Oh, by the way, you see, I was just telling people, you see my T-shirt?
Uganda.
Undala,
Correct. Do you want to see mine? You see that?
Breathtaking Uganda. Oh, I need one. I need one. This is from a friend of mine. Belinda makes these. I'm sure you've seen them all over the place. But yes, definitely next time send me that breathtaking one as well. And this is my Ugandan flag. Yes,
and mine is here.
Big boys.
And the big guys as well.
And like the big girls as well. Yes. So, Isaiah, could you introduce yourself to the people who are watching, people who are just joining in, or people who've been already here? So please introduce yourself.
My name is Isaiah Jobs Rwanyekiro, aka Wanderer. I'm the CEO of Breathtaking Uganda. Breathtaking Uganda is a private sector-driven company that's intentionally working to promote Uganda, mostly to the domestic tourists, the Ugandans, promoting Uganda to Ugandans. But because we live in a global bubble, we can't use this modern technology to talk to Ugandans without, by default, getting this information to, whether we like it or not, this information eventually gets to also reach the global communities like people like you in the United States and Australia and United Kingdom and all over the world. But our core target audience is Ugandans. Yeah. And also not only Ugandans in Uganda, but also Ugandans in the diaspora and wherever they might be all over the world.
Right, yes. And I think this is the best thing we can do, because we are blessed with social media. So the internet is our friend. I think this is the cheapest way to market our places, our countries, not just Uganda, but whichever country you guys are from and you'd like to promote your countries. The internet is a bank. So, and it's the bank that where you can go without, you don't have to invest in too much money in that bank for you to be able to get that information. Uncle Google is there. We have different channels like YouTube, like Twitter, different platforms that you can definitely get information about different places that you're looking to travel to. So, Isaiah, how is Uganda right now?
Uganda is extremely peaceful, I must say. Just yesterday, I was out of Kampala. I had traveled to a very beautiful, I think one of a kind. It's called the Mara Wild Waters Road.
Oh,
It's
nice.
an island on River Nile, the longest river in the world, and it's a marvel. It's 80% surrounded by water rapids, and there's a small window where you get to cross and get onto the island. So I was there. I met the CEO, Rian, and then we've pretty much been having quite a number of meetings here and there. Then I proceeded to go on up as far as Kayunga, deep in the villages, where we met so many other people, and came back to Jinja late in the night, about I think 11, and no one stopped us, no one asked us any questions. We moved freely, so it's I think a very peaceful country. You can move any time of the day or night, anywhere across the entire country without any problem, I must say.
Nice. Let's see. The water areas look very attractive, very ideal. Yes. I can't wait to go back. I can't wait. Next time I'm home, I think my whole every day is going to be somewhere. I'm going to be visiting different places. So I'll make sure I have full tank in my car, or I'll call the big boys to take me around. But one of the things that I loved about
That's what
Uganda
we're
now,
trying.
yeah.
That's what we're trying.
I'll just join the big bus. Not the big bus. When you say the big bus, people get political. Not a bus, a van.
You can. There are people who can travel. Uganda is quite an interesting country. There are friends of mine. There's a gentleman called Cardware Kanyike. He travels. He tours Uganda on foot.
Wow.
He's extremely
Yes,
athletic.
Kenneth. Yes, he runs.
Kenneth, yeah. He runs all these attractive places, all these attractions. So, there is no excuse not to get anywhere in Uganda. Even on the border, the motorcycle taxi,
yeah.
you can travel and tour this country. There are friends of mine like Kojo Justus who travel and tour all these places on mountain bikes. They've ridden from Kampala to Kidepo, they've ridden from Kampala to Soro. There's another friend of mine called Ras Bisari. They pretty much ride across the country. There are others who row the small boats. They take the small boats across the country. So it's any means you want to travel Uganda, you want to tour Uganda, is available. There are, of course, obviously some big boys who do this by helicopter, with Kampala Executive Air Services. So everything is available. There's Aerolink, there is Uganda Airlines today. We'll get there slowly. The only thing that's still missing in action is the standard gauge railway.
Oh yeah. So how far is that into being put into consideration? I remember they were trying to repair it.
The standard gauge railway, I'm not I'm a very private citizen, so I'm not an official of government. So whatever I say, I say it on the basis of what I may have had, in my conversations with a few people here and there. But I cannot very authoritatively speak about the standard gauge railway because there was a time there was a lot of excitement, there was a lot of activity, they were opening routes, they were compensating people. The Uganda People's Defense Forces engineering brigade was working day and night, but then all of a sudden, work sort of went quiet. So I don't exactly know what happened, but I hope at the right time, the work, on that front will be picked up, and then we shall enjoy moving around Uganda by train.
Yeah. Hi, Kim. Hi, AJ Scholars. I see you guys. We have a question here, Africa on Top. I think these are actually your friends. This is your friend, Isaiah. Yes. Are you affirming that the limitations are lies one chooses to believe to be true?
What limitations are we talking about here? Let's be very specific because I think it's a perceptual thing. Limitation, you can have $10 million, but if you choose to limit your mind or your perception, you still, pretty much think it's not enough. So I think limitations where I come from, from my point of view, they are perception. So maybe unless you specifically interrogate that specific issue that he mentions, if he wants to mention a specific issue, then I find it difficult to, because for me, where I come from, from where I stand, I am a very private citizen, like I already said, and I've moved across the entire breadth of the country. Just this year alone, I've traveled 14,000 kilometers in Uganda using a very small car. I drive a small car, one of the smallest cars.
Is it a Corsa? That was my first car. It was a Corsa.
It's a Toyota Premier. But
that's close. That's close. Yeah, the Premier was is a step ahead the Corsa. Yeah, but the Premiers are so good. I love.
Probably one step ahead of the Corsa.
Yeah, the Corsa. I remember. Let me tell you a quick story. When I first got my Corsa, I had just joined the road. I got it from Nakawa side, like those where they have all the cars.
The bonds,
the bonds, yes. So I got my Kaka Bulungi, and oh my gosh, and then all the taxis are going so fast. And then I joined the road. I hit the first pothole I could get, and then the rim of my tire went flying. Oh my gosh, I was shaking, and then all the taxi guys started abusing me because I think I started going all over the road after I hit the pothole. And then the taxis are like, what? And then I had to go on the side and park and first regain my consciousness. Driving in Kampala. But now find me, I'm like the pro of the roads.
Driving in Kampala is an art.
It is.
So yeah.
It is. Let's see here. So Isaiah, I see you're planning a trip around the country. Let's get to this one. You're planning a trip around the country in 9 days. How are you able to do this? And what is the goal? What are you trying to achieve with your friends, with your colleagues who are trying to make this travel around the country?
So, like I said, I moved around Uganda quite a bit. I'm just beginning to try and copy the big boys like John Speak, like Emin Pasha,
the explorers, huh?
And these are guys who came to Uganda from very far away, from far off lands like the United. So they and at that time there were no roads, it's pretty much
Gosh, Uganda's internet connection. I think that's like one of the things we first need to work on. How about we work on Uganda getting the most stable internet connection, Isaiah?
Okay, I think we are back.
Yeah.
Well, Uganda doesn't own any internet. The internet ultimately comes from the US satellite. So and then they keep giving it a few. That's why recently there was a conversation with a Facebook owner where he was trying to convince the whole of India, where he wanted to provide to them free concessions.
Yeah.
So this conversation probably is or might be bigger than Uganda, as a matter of fact.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Isaiah, you were telling us about you guys are planning the trip around the country. What are you trying to achieve? What is your goal?
So, like I was saying,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to put this into historical background, give it contextual background.
Mm-hmm.
There were many years ago people like John Speake, who claimed to have been the first European to see the source of River Nile. Sir Samuel Baker, who actually named some of the most important geographical features in Uganda, like Albert. He named Lake Albert.
Yeah.
He named the Maction Falls after the chairman of the National Geographic Society in the United Kingdom, who had sponsored his trip to Uganda. So for me, I've read quite a bit about these gentlemen, and then I asked myself that how come so many years down the road, after they named some of these features, we as Ugandans haven't tried to move around Uganda and identify some of the new features, some of the emerging features, and also, probably name them or highlight them or document them, or find ways of harmonizing this information. Because information is the need for every need. Today, content is king, like people say. But I find that as Ugandans, we are not aggressively moving out there to capture this content, to define this content, to standardize this content, and be able to share it across various platforms that God has blessed us with. So the caravan is pretty much like every caravan that has happened in the history of Uganda. It's a fact-finding mission. So we shall be on a fact-finding mission where we shall try as much as possible to get as many details out there as possible. So that's one of the objectives. So the other objective, we think that when we do...
Isaiah, first hold on. So right now, we see like I don't know, we can't even see you. There's like a white screen on you. We see you in the background there, but we can't really see your face.
Oh, maybe. Oh, you want me to say that? Okay, just a second. Let me put the blind up. Let me do this.
I think it's just the internet, though.
Let me do this. Let's see. How about now?
Okay, now it's better. Yeah.
Okay, so forgive me. This is better?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah. You might have to keep traveling inside there to get the better connection somehow.
Okay, let's see. And this? Let me try to put on the
there
light.
is better. Yeah, but maybe lighting.
Let me try to get some lighting. How about now?
Yeah, that's better. Yes, that's better. Yeah, that's good.
Forgive me. Let the record show this is the first time ever in my life. This is the first time ever in my life I'm doing this. So please, if I'm not,
You're fine. Trust me, you're fine. It's not even your problem. I think it's the internet's problem because you go in and out. So that's not you. It's the internet.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And I try to have a good phone, LTE 5G network. So I was hoping,
But it's
so
trying.
if things are not going.
We've seen worse. Trust me, we've seen worse.
So things are not going well. It's not for lack of trying.
Okay, yeah. So you were talking about the other objective. Anyway, you guys who are joining in, I see most people are just joining in now. Thanks for joining us. Eunice Tess. Eunice Tess is actually one of the female content creators that does travel content around the country, around Uganda. So her and Nabs Ara those are some of my friends. Mr. Musinguzi, so Mr. Uganda, I see you guys there. So thank you for joining us. I see Retro. Thank you for joining us. I see Eating the African Way. Eating the African Way is a guy who does content about Ugandan food. So he.
I love food.
Yes.
That gentleman needs to be my friend.
He has to be your friend. He does all the street food. That's one of his videos that he did of Uganda Rolex that hit thousands and thousands of views, like Kampala street foods. He will also show content about like how to make local alcohol, like like from scratch. So he visits such places that are making the local brewing stuff. He'll show a video of that. Of course, we just lost Isaiah. The internet. I tell you guys. Oh, Uganda, may God uphold thee. But he'll be back, guys. He'll be back. So, but anyways, I'm just shouting out to these guys that are doing amazing content, especially which I know is actually promoting the country. So, Nicholas does. Yes, those videos. If you're hungry, do not watch because you'll be very, very hungry as you're watching him. But they're amazing. They will show you how they make all the local meals in Uganda, in different cultures, in different tribes. So if you're there and wondering how some of this food is made or what do Ugandans eat, you can definitely visit his page. His YouTube channel is Eating the African Way. His channel is Eating the African Way, so you'll see such amazing food content. And again, that's part of culture tourism. That is food tourism that we are definitely. You see, like how some countries have like a place like Germany, Isaiah. Germany has the beer festival. Like the Oktoberfest. So that is such a huge tourist attraction for Germany. So I think eventually as we try, like I'm very confident we can actually do this in Uganda as well. I've seen some of the parts like in that guy in Bushenyi who does like the Mochomo kind. What's his name?
Actually, it's not a guy. It's a whole entire market. Kabagarame is a market.
Yes.
It's a market. It's not just one guy. I've been there, fortunately, quite a number of times.
Yeah.
It's a market. Like where there are probably today 200 plus pop agents.
Yeah, but he started as one because I remember I visited that in like 2000 and something when I was in school. I visited he had a small pork joint, and I remember we sat and ate the whole on a big tray. That food was amazing. So
now it's no longer. It's not just one man. It's like 200 men.
Wow.
And then it's a proper market. You find like over 400 cars parked and about 1,000 plus people. They go to that market. But there's another friend of mine who has pioneered a similar concept in Ntungamo. He has called his market in Ntungamo Itojo. He calls calls his market a very interesting place.
Oh, no. I saw that name. I saw my aunt complaining. It's like, my God. Please don't say the name, because I saw one of my aunts from Ntungamo or Kunjiri. It was like Ruhanga Waje. Like, how are the local people going to pronounce the name of this place?
But, just for the record, my friend says that name is he got it from South Africa. It's Afrikaans. So it's not Mabunu, it's Mabun. Something like that.
So the place is called Mabunu. Like Mabunu, that's a but. But I looked at the name, I died. I was like, Mabunu, of all places. Like, how are the local people going to say, we're going to Mabunu to eat?
So apparently,
yeah,
in the very recent past, over Christmas, this friend of mine is very creative, So in the recent past, there's been a lot of buzz, about this Mavuno press. So it's the new kid on the block of food markets. So if anyone is out there, look out for Mavuno. And it's going authentically, no adverts, no nothing. Just,
I'm telling you. I don't even want to say people like Mabunu, but
in Uganda, I say if you know, you know.
If you know, you know.
In Uganda,
they
say if you know, you know.
Yeah. But anyways,
it is what it is.
I know Uganda is very, like, I love Uganda, you guys. I'm so sorry. I just have to keep telling you, Uganda is such a beautiful place. If you've traveled in other parts of Africa, for example, you appreciate being in Uganda.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry to say, Uganda is peaceful. Like, Uganda's food is just one of those things that if you eat a fruit from Uganda, you eat a fruit from the US, you're like, what am I eating? So
it's one of those.
Endowed. Yeah. It is that endowed. I recently traveled to last year in September, actually in August and September, I was in South Africa. I went to Zimbabwe and I passed through Zimbabwe. I was in Malawi. I was in Zambia. I was in Namibia. I was there for some good days. And then I was in Malawi. But it was like my friends who was visiting in Namibia used to live in Uganda, and they all said, it was funny, they gave me breakfast, some fruits, and they said, Brenda, this will not taste like Ugandan fruits. I have to tell you before you even eat it. So they just, like, I remember I called her mom. She was like, every day when I'm eating a pineapple, I'm like, I wish this was the Ugandan pineapple. So there's such a difference, even though it's all of Africa, but the foods, the soils are so different. So the outcome are definitely different. The sweetness, the taste is just different. So I challenge you, African friends of mine who are watching right now, to explore the rest of Africa. And as you explore, you can explore the different traditions, the different cultures, the different foods, the different languages. So all those things as you travel is some of the things that I am always trying to compare as I travel from one country to the other. And I have to tell you, yes, Ugandan food is just different. It's just different. It's one of the most tastiest foods I think I've ever had in my entire travels around the world. Anyways, so let's go back to Isaiah here. Eating the African way got me here talking about food. Now I'm starving because I haven't had breakfast. But
yeah.
But so Isaiah, please tell us more about your the journey that you guys are about to embark on. Who's behind this? I know you guys are a private sector. How can somebody join? What do you want us to help you achieve? This goal that you're about to embark on? Those are like so many questions.
Maybe no, not one by one, process by process.
Okay, process by process.
So yeah.
Process by process.
Process, yes, it's okay. Process by process, we'll answer them one by one. So the thing is, anyone can join this caravan. It's going to be 9 days. We are going to publish on a very at a press conference, hopefully either tomorrow or Tuesday at the Uganda Media Center or the Uganda Wildlife Education Conservation Center in Entebbe. So we shall publish our itinerary. We shall publish every stop we'll be making, all the places we shall be going to. So then people, any Ugandan, this is Uganda Yafe, any Ugandan can join. Even if you don't have the capacity to join all the 9 days, you can join for 1 day. You can even join for 2 hours. You can join the caravan for 2 hours. And you get off the caravan as and when you like. Also, for those, because these things cost a bit of money to organize, so for the people who are interested in joining the caravan for all the 9 days, we've asked for a small contribution of $1,400. That's $150 per day. And this takes care of fuel, transport, accommodation, all the meals, like pretty much everything. So, and then we are asking everyone out there who can join us.
You say that's around $150 a day?
Per day, yes.
Per
but
day,
this takes care of your transport, your fuel cost, and accommodation,
food,
activities, park entry, whatever, you know.
Nice. Actually, that's not bad.
Everything, you know, like pretty much everything. Once you have paid that 100 per day, then you're pretty sure that you don't have to touch your wallet. You can throw your wallet away. So you can leave your wallet away. You can throw your Visa card away and trust the process. Trust that Isaiah and the group will take care of you. Process by process.
Yeah.
So then you ask the people who would like to get support from. We want the corporate companies in Uganda who, some of them like the telecom companies, like the fuel, the energy companies, like Total, like Vivo Energy Share, or like MTN Uganda, or like Airtel Uganda, would have, if they could join us on this caravan, or if they could find ways of supporting us. Because, for example, MTN says, everywhere you go, you will find their internet is super effective. Or Airtel says they have the 4G network. So we want to work with them and actually demonstrate to the country that it's actually true. Because what we want to do, as we have had this discussion with Brenda, every evening from 6 to 7 or thereabout, we want to give accountability. We want to be able to talk to you and many other stakeholders across the globe and share our experiences, that things we've gone through that day.
I'm excited.
Today it's me. So today it's me, but I would propose that other days there will be other stakeholders, hotel owners, lodge owners, attraction owners. And then whichever town we stop in, we want to go into the radio stations and have interactions with local people. Because personally, I believe Uganda belongs to all of us. And if these tourism attractions are going to make meaningful contributions to the economy, to all of us, every Ugandan needs to be brought, to be given awareness of what the attractions are capable of doing as far as unlocking the business and economic opportunities is concerned. Because the first and most important thing is information. Once there is information and people get to know about these attractions, then what happens next? These communities that have conserved, that have preserved the city falls for generations, that have these rock formations in Tororo, in Ngora, the wild animals. You know, if our communities were not configured to be conservationists at heart, all these things would have perished by now.
Yes,
but you see, in our culture, there is a way. Recently, I was in Queen Elizabeth, and I was told that the pastoralists that lived there are pastoralists, but they had a formula, they had a system where they were able to graze their cows in such a way that the cows and the wild animals like lions and leopards coexisted.
Yes.
And it's because of their ingenuity that we still have some of these natural attractions like the tree climbing grounds in Queen Elizabeth and the leopards and the things like that. Now, imagine these pastoralists had been very selfish and had said that these animals are killing our cows, let's kill them off. Like, unfortunately, it happened in Kimburo. We wouldn't be having some of these things to write home about. So I think the starting point is that the local communities must be respected, must be treated with respect. They must be made the first stakeholders in conserving for generations. If you are going to conserve sustainably, we need to talk to them, we need to engage them, we need to appreciate what they have done for all these years, and then all the other people can then come on board. But without starting with the people on the ground, when you go to city falls, those rock formations, the caves, the falls, they are young people, not even young now, elders that have those stories of how the city falls, how they have seen them. And the interesting thing that they will tell you things that you can't even believe. The city falls, there are times of the year when they are totally breathtaking, and then there are those times in the year when they are a trickle, especially during the dry season.
Yeah.
And then you want to, and then of course some of us go and see these falls, but we never ask questions like, where do they actually come from? To do a caravan from the point at which the city fall drops, makes the 100-meter drop to the ground, and then they move backwards, see where the actual source of this city fall is. These are the things, probably, these are the conversations that I want us to start having as Ugandans, and it start meaningfully, not trying to do research about and say now, John Speak discovered the source of the knife. Why doesn't Isaiah Jobs or Brenda Katama come together and they go and find the source of city falls?
That's right. Yes. It's all about discovering new things now. That's impressive, Isaiah.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping you have a good support system, because that's a big project. I mean, I love that concept.
The thing is, the thing is, I used to have a friend of mine and mentor, a gentleman called James Muzini. We worked together for many years, and he used to tell me that anyone who claims they need money to be able to do anything in this world is actually, whatever you want to do, if you decide to do it with all your heart, mind, and soul, somehow God or nature or whatever it is will put the necessary resources in your way. So, with or without support, well, we are ready. Let me just say, no matter the circumstances, we are ready to try and do this. Whichever way, we will do it.
Okay.
We will try and do it.
I mean, I love the fact that the fact that you're trying to empower the local people, the local communities, because that's very huge. I remember when I was doing my dissertation in Queen Elizabeth, because I did tourism at Makerere University. So one of my dissertations was about conserving natural resources, and I picked Queen Elizabeth. So I did my dissertation there. My research was at Queen Elizabeth National Park. And I remember interviewing the local people. So I spent, I think, about like a week and a half there collecting data from the locals, especially. And what caught my attention that time was the locals that I interviewed on, is it Lake Katwe? Yes, on Lake Katwe. I think there was a time there were so many lions being killed in the national park, and it's because I went to the locals and I was asking, the hippos were also attacking the locals, but there was that conflict between the local people and the wildlife, and so the government was looking for a way of how they can bring harmony between the two. And the local people told me they felt they were not benefiting from the tourism industry. So these are people who've
Mm.
originally lived there. Of course, they're doing the salt harvesting, but then they feel
Mm.
like so many people have been able to build lodges there now. Of course, they've bought the locals out. They've put like amazing accommodations, but the locals were feeling left out. So in the end, they were like,
Mm.
why should we protect these lions? But I'm
Mm.
so glad.
You know,
I
there's
think there was, yeah.
I think the Kenyans, our neighbors, our brothers, learned a few of these issues a while back. And for them, the way they approach their conservation is slightly different. It's bottom up. So
Yes.
you can't build a road, for example, in any protected area or near the protected areas without the involvement of the community. So they make sure 30% of these roads of the foreign investors or even the local investors, they give this 30% to the communities. The proceeds that are made from the by the lodges, they are given back to the communities.
Yes.
Then there are policies that the chefs, the housekeepers, the people in the hotel and value chain, the lodge value chain, the communities are given first priority. And then also you will find that when that is done, then these attractions, the lions, then they, in real terms, make sense to the people because their livelihood gets improved as a result of these resources. So it's like a person at home who owns a dog and chicken. So when you're, for example, quote unquote, when your dog eats the chicken, you don't kill the dog. So in this case, if the lions strayed into the communities and ate one or two cows, the community members will not kill the lions because they know the importance of the lions and also they know the importance of the cows. So there's always going to be a way of creating harmony and symbiotic relationships. And nature should teach us these things. When you go into nature, the ecosystem is configured in such a way that every animal, irrespective of the elephants are able to survive, and even the minutest animals or insects are able to survive at the same time. So all the ecosystem should teach us that the only way we can conserve for generations successfully is if we copy what the wild animals have done for generations and try and do it as human beings. Because you see there's a symbiotic relationship between like all these animals, the buffaloes and the water and the madness. Then the white birds come and get onto their backs. If you have been into the park, you've seen the egrets onto the backs of the buffaloes, picking the ticks. And then,
the ticks off,
and then I'm told crocodiles in the Kazinga Channel, they rare attack buffaloes that come to drink. So what happens is that when these buffaloes and other wild animals come to drink water in the Kazinga Channel, after drinking water naturally, they get induced to shit. So they bullshit, forgive my language, from the buffaloes, gets into the Kazinga Channel, and then it has what they call planktons and all these things that keep the chemical formations that clean up the water and make it suitable for the crocodiles to survive. So there is a very interesting symbiotic relationship in the wilderness between these animals. And I think if we human beings are going to survive and live for generations with these animals, we need to study deeply these symbiotic relationships and try and translate them into our day-to-day life with the animals as well.
Yeah, I agree. Let's see here. We have Jennifer. Jenny is actually Jennifer. You know Jennifer, I'm sure, Isaiah. She's
I know Jenny.
she was my classmate.
She's been on some of our. Oh wow! She's been on some of our trips, breathtaking Uganda trips.
Yes, yes. So, and actually, now that we're talking about, so Jenny is me and Jennifer like grew up together. So, and we
Wow.
went to the same schools and we did tourism together. And she's among the first
Wow.
bird watchers, actually, guides. And she, yeah, when
Mm-hmm.
Herbert was starting that bird watching, I remember she was one of the people and some other friends of ours. And Jennifer, you need to
Mm.
tell us more history about Amabariga Amgore because that's your village. I know you pass by them all the time. You hang out with the big boys on that side. So we need to host you one of these days and you tell us. Um, we have Herbert Biaruhanga in the building. Hi,
Oh,
Herbert.
the president himself,
The
the
president
big boy
himself
himself,
is in the house.
the,
You
the
you
big boy
guys,
himself.
yeah, if you want any person who knows every single bird there is in the world, I think just talk to Herbert. Herbert is the president of the Birding Association, and I wish he could join us and tell us about these things as well. But he's
As
he's a
well as the no, it's not Brenda correction. It's not just the president of the budding. Right
yes, tell
now,
me.
a few weeks ago, he was voted as the president of the Uganda Tourism Association.
Oh wow.
Now, the
Wow.
Uganda Tourism Association is the umbrella body that unites all tourism associations in Uganda.
But he deserves it. Honestly, me, like when I think of tourism, I think of that guy. Like his
Mm,
passion when he was starting the Bad Watchers Uganda. I remember him, like he would sit with my bosses that time were Sassy Richard, who and Alan. They are the owners of Shoebill Safaris. And they would
mm,
meet with the Amoses. So they were coming together with a group of, they were trying to get together all the tour operators to push sustainable tourism
mm,
in the country. And he used to
mm,
give lectures at university to the tourism students.
mm,
That's how I got to
mm,
meet him with the likes of Chimbowa is my lecturer. I think he also is now into
mm,
tourism and travel. He probably has an association. I promise to visit
mm,
his accommodation places when I visit, as long as he gives me a
mm,
discount. Um,
mm.
we're all about discount. I'm like, I'm Hindi.
It's okay. Everything in life is negotiated for.
Yes, everything
I,
is about
I, I see
negotiating.
I see there is a gentleman who has joined that Silver
Yes,
Maxon
yes,
call.
Silver. Please introduce yourself.
Ask
Um,
ask him to project the camera quite well
yeah,
so that
if
we're
you
able
can
to see him.
project your camera, so that we can actually see your face. Oh my God, you guys, we're rolling with the big boys. So that we can actually see. Oh my God, you guys, we're rolling with the big boys. I don't know. Somebody has an echo, so you have to turn off one of your systems because I could hear myself back screaming.
Hmm.
Hey, so let's welcome Herbert
The
Biaruhanga,
Bada.
the brother, my mentor, my big brother. He is in the building. So, Herbert, say hello to us.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Ah, okay. But I don't know where I am now. Where did I go? Okay, now I can see. It's something I don't know. I just saw a link and just clicked to it. I don't know where I'm going. What's going on? I have no idea.
We just
I've just come,
kidnapped
I've
you.
just come from.
You're
I've
in
just
the
come from.
cloud. You're in the cloud right now.
I've just come from Barara. I've been driving this morning. I was on the tour and Brenda, how are you?
I'm good.
Oh my God.
Nargona kubona.
Oh my God. Hey,
You see technology, you see the amazing things that technology can do.
I
And
know.
yeah,
How was your trip? I
who
saw you
thought
doing Herbert. If you could introduce yourself to the people who are watching. We have so many people who are watching. This is being streamed on Facebook pages. So we have about maybe 3,000 people who are watching there. We also are streaming live on YouTube. So I can see people who are commenting have actually joined the YouTube link. So those are the comments we see on the side. I don't know if you can see the comments, but I'll just show you, like, here, this is Jennifer. This is your Jennifer. And she was just cracking up on the Mabunu place. And we have Mr. Uganda here. We have so many people who have joined us. All these are tourism enthusiasts. We had Eunice who does content travel around the country as well. I had Mr. Musinguzi who also does travel content around the country. These are big YouTubers, they're big Instagram guys. They have a good following. I was telling Isaiah before that we need these people on board. As the tourism industry in Uganda, we need such people on board. I believe they would be the best marketers of the industry, because they're not just famous locally in Uganda. People who watch the content are all over the world. And then we had a guy called Nicholas. He does food content. That's also watched by, he has over 10,000 followers on YouTube. And most people who watch his channel are people who are looking for food around the rest of the world. But so if you can introduce yourself to the people, Mr. Herbert, that would be awesome.
Okay, good to be here. But I didn't even think I was going to do the right thing. I just touched on the link like any kid, and I thought myself, I saw Rwanyekiro talking. I said, "Oh, who is this now? What's happening here?" Then I saw Brenda. I might just getting some people's conversation. It was on my phone, and I said, "Okay, let me wait and see." Then you talked and talked. I said, "But this thing is interesting."
Isaiah, you should take a screenshot of this for the big boys.
So my name is Herbert my name is Herbert Biarwanga. I'm the current president of Uganda Tourism Association, the apex board of the private sector. I run business. I'm a tour operator. I am a guide. I'm a trainer. I'm a traveler. I do a lot of bird watching around the world, not only in Uganda, but wherever I have a chance to go, I go straight and do some bird watching. If it wasn't this pandemic, I think by now, this is January, sorry, I would be in Florida, but I've not been able to go. They have canceled the function, I think, but I still will be going somewhere in the next month. So that's what I do. I do bird watching. I do training people. I train tour operators. I do train the guides. I do promote women in tourism. I have a project at my company which does women birders. I think it's the best in the world so far. And many other things to do with tourism. I've just come back from a tour, which was specifically to create a new product. And before I launch a product, I have to visit, test like 3 times until I have the right content, right information, and the right experience. I design according to what we want, and then I'm able to unleash it to the people of the world. So that's what I've started. It will take me another maybe 3 months to have it completed, and then I'll be able to open it. So that's the Herbert you hear. Sorry for having a long introduction.
Good, yeah, because you're a big boy, so you big boys roll with like long resumes. You know, you read a resume, you're like 2 pages, 3 pages, you're like, what in the world? What exactly am I looking for? So that's
the man has a my wrong resume.
Yeah, but we're so glad to have you on board.
Proper, the proper big boy, you know,
the proper
in the
big
tourism
boy,
sector of Uganda.
Yeah. So we're so glad to have you here. And Isaiah was just telling us about, his projections of the year, what you guys are looking into, how you're looking into making Ugandan tourism very more aware and like creating more awareness about our resources in the country, how we can also improve on conserving them. So that's one of also their goals, to see how we can actually conserve these local tourist attractions. And then also he was highlighting on the activities that he thinks that he projects to be happening in the coming week and even after that week. So, Isaiah, I don't know if you want to go ahead. Herbert, if you have any questions for Herbert, you can shoot away since you have him here before he runs away.
Okay. How about
This
how long do
this
you
is
have
very
you?
interesting here.
How much
I've
time?
got to listen.
Okay. So what we are doing, Brenda, is a collaboration. We are trying to do what we call what Steve Jobs, my all-time idol, did. It's called competitive collaboration. I believe that whatever we do, if you engage in competitive collaboration with various stakeholders, it takes nothing away from you. One of the reasons I think the tourism sector in Uganda hasn't grown so fast is because everyone has tried to do what they're trying to do in silos. You find the Ministry of Tourism doing what they're doing in isolation of the private sector, then the private sector doing what they're doing in isolation of the Uganda Tourism Board, then Uganda Wildlife Authority is doing what they're trying to do in isolation of the tour operators. So you find different people trying to shoot in the same goal, but they're all using different tactics, techniques, and yet if they all come together and work together, then so much could be achieved. Because we've been told the word team means together we achieve more. Each achieves more. So I would like whatever we do at the back of our mind as one of our core values at Breathtaking Uganda is that we want to engender, we want to try and foster unity in the sector, we want to foster teamwork, we want to foster the concept of competitive collaboration. And Mr. Vyarhanga knows this. We've had several meetings, so far we've engaged him as our president. And for me, this is where I want to put Vyarhanga to task because as our president, I want him to tell us what he is going to do intentionally and deliberately to make sure that as the sector we move together. Because I feel extremely frustrated that you find everyone is pulling in their own direction. I was a bit surprised the other day, Brenda, when you told me you have tried to reach out to Uganda in some of these positions, and they haven't given you a listening ear. And yet, with the resources you have, with these 4,000 people that are listening to you right now, 4,000 plus people across the globe, I mean, the message is going to go out, and it's going out at a very cost cost effective manner. You don't need millions of dollars to get work done today. And I think this is the message that people should try and listen to. But the president, the big man himself, is here. The big boy is here. Let me leave the floor to him. Me, I'm a small man. When the president gets onto the stage, the small men have to give way. So, Mr. President, here you go.
Herbert, why should I visit Uganda, if I should ask you?
Oh my God, this is very, very interesting. One, to begin with you as Brenda, why should you visit Uganda? Uganda is one of those countries in the world where everything is amazing. You meet the people, they are amazing. Very social, very hospitable, right from even the kid to the old person. It's just the people that makes Uganda different. In Uganda, it's the only country I know in the region whereby you find people can even ride bicycles from one border to another border without anybody asking you. I've seen many foreigners just riding their bicycles without any problem. Everybody wants to find out, can I help you? Do you have any problem? These things can't be found in many, many places. So it's quite important that Uganda, should be visited to see the people. Secondly, Uganda is the Equatorial zone, is the meeting point of the Equatorial zones of Africa, whereby we have got every portion of the ecological zone of Africa. You want some desert, we have forest, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have highland forest, lowland forest, we have. If you bring Africa into perspective and you are looking for the representation of every African ecological zone, you find it in Uganda, which is just amazing. No wonder the concentration of animals in a very short distance. You can leave Buindi and ride a car or drive a car for another 2 hours, you find savannah, rich with animals. You leave Queen Elizabeth National Park savannah and go to Kibale, another 3 4 hours, you are in the forest. You live, it's just amazing. You live the highland forest in Bwindi, you drive for 1 day, you're in Semliki, lowland forest. You can leave Bwindi, get to the top of the mountain in the same region. So it's just a full destination with lots of attractions. You go to the east, can't imagine what you'll find in this. Different animals, different people, different ethnics. You come to birds, Uganda, of course, is arguably the best birding destination on the continent because not because of numbers of birds, by the way, but because of diversity per square kilometer. Lots of birds per square kilometer. And people who love birds really want to make sure they're in Uganda. The butterfly watchers, they can't wait to visit Uganda because of lots of forests. We are just everywhere. If you go to any forest in Uganda, you'll find amazing forests. I mean, amazing butterflies. We have over 1,500 species of butterflies. Uganda have about 1,085 species of birds. Mammals, we are about, I don't know how many mammals we have, about maybe 120. I'm not very sure. But we have quite a number of tribes of people, about over 56. We are very rich by all standards. Now, the other thing that makes people come to Uganda is that we have greatly improved on infrastructure. You can imagine, you can ride, if you're not on tarmac, you are on a paved Maram road. It's
Yeah.
dark, but paved. Yeah? I have forgotten potholes for sure because we used to have very big potholes. Recently, I had clients from USA and they were telling, Herbert, your country has a lot of potholes. I told them, you don't know what was here in 1980s. These are better roads. Then we drive 50 kilometers, then we get road. And the government is continuing to make many more tarmac roads. And I'm very, very impressed. Yesterday, I was driving from Bigobia Mugeni going down to Mugore, and we landed into a tarmac road, which I didn't expect. So it is just amazing there. Electricity is now almost, I think, maybe 70%. Last year I was in northern Uganda from Kidepo up to West Nile. They're all, they have electricity. So for investment, you are good to go. In terms of agriculture production, the whole stretch of northern Uganda is very productive for vegetables, cereals, name it. You go to western Uganda, you can grow coffee, you can grow tea, you can grow. It's just organically grown. Before I go into a crazy mood. Now,
Crazy.
what do I have?
Yeah.
I'm so proud about being Uganda because I've been flying over many countries. I've been to South America, I've been to Europe, I've been to Asia. I have seen. Now, what am I going to do? I'm not going to do many things. I am going to focus on a few things in my term of office. Number one, I want to look at human resources. We need to train people. We need to train people who can give value. Everywhere I've gone around the world, if you don't get people who are trained, you don't get value for the money. People
That's
don't
true.
make pit visits. They want to feel value for the money. You must get knowledge of people behind the table, behind the computer, people who are talking to clients, people who are talking to buyers. You must have knowledge of people. So that if you have business community who are knowledgeable about the product, they are already educated, they can communicate, they have the required skills for the job, you are in business. If you don't do that, you have no, even if you have many gorillas everywhere, I can tell you without people who are professional, you have no business. Number two, I want to focus on product diversification. We cannot sing gorillas, primates. No, Uganda has more than that. The cultural heritage tourism is much richer than all those few animals which can be found in other countries. The culture is just unique. It's not found anywhere else. So I really want to make sure that we develop new products that can be consumed by the local people, because the team I took to this trip, which I just finished today, was a very good demonstration. I saw how excited the locals were. That's very, very important. I really liked it so much. And then lastly, I want to bridge the gap between the private sector, government, and development partners. I really want to make sure that there is a system that works between those two. If I do those three things in 2 years, I will be happy, and I know the tourism will grow. Over to you.
I think those are amazing objectives, Herbert, and I pray you actually achieve them, because those are like the fundamentals of success in that industry. And I'm so glad they are putting in a person who is actually experienced, who's been in the industry for so long, who knows everything that actually affects, let's say, a tour operator, everything that affects a tourist, everything affects, I mean, a tourist could be domestic or even foreign. So it helps when, they say a person who's dealt with or who has felt something is the one who knows how to help it or how to treat it. So I think that they're heading in the right direction. I'm so glad they were able to choose you. Before you joined earlier, as I was waiting for Isaiah, I was telling them about people like you. I'm like, that guy, I'm like, Herbert Biarhanga knows every single bird there is in the world. He's like a moving dictionary for birds. But it's that experience that I think is going to help the sector. And also, I love that you are trying to work together with the private sector. This has been lacking. So, or if it's been there, it's been vague. So you guys are going to twist the knots better, and I believe it's going to be very successful. So, Isaiah, what do you say about what Herbert just shared?
Well, I think Herbert has summarized what I was trying to say earlier on. For us, we are trying to go out there, like I was telling you, and rather than I found that I used to have a friend, and they used to have a very effective statement whenever they wanted to communicate to me. They would be like, Isaiah, I could tell you, but I would rather show you. So I would also say I like to apply or use the same statement. I could tell Ugandans there's so many beautiful things about Uganda. There's so many attractions that Herbert has just talked about. The birds, the culture, the attractions, the gorillas, the wild animals, the kitas in Depot, the roan antelopes, the mountains, and so many of these other attractions. But for me, I feel I will be doing Ugandans a service because I've been one of the few people that God has blessed to travel around Uganda. Every other day I'm out there in Uganda, moving around Uganda, seeing all these things. So I feel like I should, and with the team of my friends and with the support from people like Biarhanga and many other people now that have joined us on this caravan, the Big Boys caravan, I feel like it's time now to take things to another level. And rather than tell Ugandans, we show them how beautiful Uganda is. Rather than tell you about how beautiful the Mara Wild Water is, on Wednesday this week, I want us to go there with drone cameras, with GoPros, with our iPhones, our Samsung phones, and we
even the other phones can work. even the Nokias.
Well, me, I only know two phones in this world, so I'm sorry. What are the other phones you're talking about?
Infinix. Isn't there a phone called Infinix?
If what? I hear there is another one called, I can't even pronounce the name. Huawei or what, But yeah, so what you're saying, that even with your small phone, be it an Infinix, be it a Techno, be it a Nokia, be it whatever phone it is, as long as it has a camera, as long as it has an internet signal, as long as you can access Google Maps or Facebook or Twitter or Instagram, take a picture of these beautiful attractions, amenities, access routes, and share with the world. And then let's use one hashtag, Uganda at 60. That's the hashtag we're trying to encourage everyone to use, Uganda at 60, but then Uganda, so that everything is teamed together, so that we show people that 60 years down the road, there's been a significant difference of development in the tourism sector, of things that have been done, of the roads that have been constructed. Because when you drive around Uganda, you see that actually today almost 70% of the roads have been tarmacked, like Biarhanga, Mr. President, was saying. It's actually now a small stretch of when you go to eastern Uganda, the small stretch of, I think, Moroto to Kidepo, from Kidepo to Kitgum, that's not yet tarmacked, and a small stretch of Katunguru, Ishasha, that is not yet tarmacked, Katunguru, Ishasha, Bwindi, and then Bwindi to Rwanda, your home area. You said you come from Rwanda? No. Rwanda, you used to go there for research. So those are the stretches that I know of that are not yet tarmacked among the trunk roads. But all the other places, you have super highways. You have places like the oil roads in Hoima and the Alberta and Graben region that are so good that you could even fly on them with your car.
Yeah. By the way, now that you mentioned Hoima, I was just chatting with a friend of mine. She lives in Hoima, and I feel like Hoima is one of those undiscovered districts in terms of tourism. I haven't seen much now. Like, we see a lot of Gulu. I see lots of documentaries about Gulu. I see lots of documentaries about Fort Portal. So I think Mbale is one of those virgin places that you guys should actually also try to explore more and bring out, because they have amazing roads right now. So dig deeper and see what attractions you guys can actually discover there.
So when you go to Hoima today, there is so many attractions. There's the Goma forest that has chimpanzees, and then this is the contentious forest that the people were trying to, unfortunately, cut down to plant sugar canes. But there's been a lot of pushback from the conservationists, and I think we will probably be able to save it. But also in that region, you have the Rift Valley Escarpment, you have Lake Albert, you have the Kibiro salt mines and hot springs, you have right now, today, there is a Kabare Airport. I'm told it's 70% complete. This is going to be an international airport that's even bigger than our famous Entebbe International Airport.
Wow.
There is, and all these roads, all these regions are now fully connected with telephone services, with electricity, with road networks. From Hoima, from the Albert and Graben region, from the oil roads, you easily connect to Kagadi, Kakumiro, Tenjojo, Fort Portal. In a matter of 2 hours, you've been Fort Portal. In a matter of 1 hour, you've been Maction Falls. In a matter of one and a half hours, you've been Ziwa, looking at the rhinos, the great endangered rhinos. And then in a matter of 2 hours, you cross up at Guru. And for me, these are ideas, these are connections that I think we should communicate to the country, and not only communicate, but we show the country that it's very possible to move around this country, even with the smallest car. You say you have a Corsa, with a Toyota Corsa, there was another small car that Toyota started. Now there is Toyota Viz. Yeah, there's now a Toyota Viz, or you can even run around Uganda like Kenneth Caldwell Kanyike does. If you don't want to use cars, you can even ride around Uganda like my friend Kojo, Ras Bisari, Modesta does. They ride around Uganda and they're able to do all these attractions. You can even run in these national parks like my friend Abdu Muhire used to do. You can even use a border. I mean, the possibilities are endless. It's just our brains probably that are limiting us. But as long as the day we open our minds and we say, let's do this, I'm sure the opportunities will be endless, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, we have Jeremy. Jeremy is joining us. I think he's from the Big Boys as well. Oh, that's Jenny. Jennifer, how are you doing? Jennifer Tibehemuka, let me say your full name. Jennifer, how are you doing? You can't be hiding there. You have to tell us you're among the best tour guides I know in the country. I'm not even ashamed to say it. You're one of the best tour guides I know in Uganda. So thank you so much for joining us. Oh, wow. We have so many people wanting to join us here. But real quick, I see Liam. So this is Liam Media Uganda. He's actually the president of YouTubers Association, Uganda YouTubers Association. So he's the president. And I'm
I
so
think
glad
I
you
need to
join us.
I think I
Yes.
need to get out of here because two presidents in one space.
Two presidents in one place. Yeah.
This is
Don't worry,
too
you're the
much power.
CEO. You're a CEO, so maybe I need to get out, but I'm the host, so I guess I'm also a big boy. But
The CEO needs
so
to leave this group.
no, this is the caravan for the big boys now. Like when we say the big boys, this
Uh-huh.
is big boys and big girls.
This is it. Huh?
We have Apollo who's just joined us. I think this is actually one of your group. Isaiah, Apollo is from
Uh-huh.
the group. Apollo, you are welcome, but you are so dark. Maybe if you could increase your lighting, that would be great. Otherwise, we can't see you that well. Oh, there you are. There you are. Jenny, are you there? Can you hear us? Jenny, are you in Mugore right now? Are you in the caves?
She must be in the Amabare Gamugore cave hiding there.
But those rocks are very attractive. But let me tell you, when I went there last 2 years ago, I was kind of scared. Like I looked at them and I kept thinking of all the stories that about the betrayers that they would tell us. I'm like, oh my gosh, he's about to join us. Oh, somebody's about to grab me. But that place has one family that has the most Ankole cows in the whole country. And that is, I don't even want to mention him, but the guy has, I don't know if those are the pictures that we saw from Herbert, but the guy has the most beautiful Ankole cows I've ever seen. And he treats them like babies. Like he knows every cow. Like how the cows respond to him. Like if he says, Businja, come here, that Businja just comes. To the guy. It was amazing to see the connection between people and their animals. And that's like the culture that I think people need to see more about, like African countries. There's deeper history and connection between animals and humans that we don't know. We don't read about in books, but you can actually see it. We can capture this in videos and share with the countries, with the rest of the world. But let me see real quick here. Let's introduce Apollo. Apollo, if you could introduce yourself to us.
Hello.
Hey, Apollo. How
Can you hear
doing?
me?
Yes.
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for sharing this wonderful information. Oh, sorry. I think I may have to join you a little later.
Okay.
As you can see, I'm right in my dining, and I have my clients right at the back, going to have dinner. So I think I'll just check out and join in a little later. Let me
Okay,
make sure
cool.
my
No
clients are
problem.
happy.
No
and
problem,
comfortable.
Apollo. Enjoy. Thanks for
Yeah.
taking care of those tourists. We appreciate
Apollo,
it.
Thank
I'm
you.
going to introduce you in your absence because I know you quite a bit. We've had some interactions, very interesting interactions. So while you are away, I'm going to try and introduce you a little bit so that by the time you come back, you should find the ground a little bit more smooth for you.
Yeah, sure.
This is very interesting.
Okay.
All right. Bye, Apollo.
Okay, guys.
See you later. Thanks for joining in.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah. All right. So we have Davis the birder. I don't know if this is a child to the birder, but Davis, can you say hello?
Davis the Bada.
Yeah. This must be a grandchild to Herbert Yarhang.
Yeah, you're not too far off. Yes, my name is Davis, and yes, I'm a tourist guide, but I specialize in birding, and I am also the chairperson of the Bird Guides Club. So yes.
Wow.
Wow.
Very happy to be here on the show.
Cool. Though we can't see your face, so next time you have to show face. Oh, there he is. Okay.
Yes.
I see you now.
So finally, have someone who is a chairperson, not a president.
I know. So thank you so much. We're so glad to have you, Davis, and everybody. Let me just put this question up here. It's not a question, it's a statement. Herbert Garahanga, I need you to share some light. So this comes down to domestic tourism. So Liam says, I have never met a Ugandan making plans to watch birds. What can you say to William here? And I'm sure there's so many Ugandans out there who are like, what? You wake up and you go look for birds? What's wrong with you?
Now, the thing is, probably Liam has not tried to learn more about the country and who are in the country. But I let him maybe get more information even on YouTube. I'm not a very, very active person on YouTube, but of recent I've started posting things there, but he can find out. Liam, we are serious bird watchers since 1995, when there was actually no birders. We have managed to grow the number. I think now we could be having about 400 birders in general, and then we could be having about 130 bird guides who can take tours around the country who are interested specifically in birds. So we have a very, very, very big potential of growing this industry. And I can tell you that we will be happy to see him as our potential customer. And birds are everywhere in the country. If you go to the west, you find different ones. You go to the east, you find different ones. So birding is great in Uganda, much, much, much better than many other countries.
Nice, nice. All right, so we have Eunice here. I'm sure you guys have seen her. She does content about Uganda. She travels to different hotels, different national parks, and she covers those places and showcases on her YouTube channel. She has over 10,000 followers as well on YouTube. You guys can check her content out. So she's one of the people who have actually been marketing Uganda on her own. So she's asking, someone sponsor me for the caravan. She's been listening. So these are people who would love to join. But I think
the president, Mr. President, why don't you do something?
Okay, now the thing is this.
You know, when you're a president, part of being a president that you must show that you're a president.
That's a very good idea. I can tell you, Job, that what you're going to do now is like we've just done now, testing the waters, be able to have the right information. Because when you carry people who can do content writing, gathering right information, we want it out very well. We are keenly following. I would have joined you, but I want you to first go and pick out a few points. I'll be learning from you. And then we're able to launch a bigger thing on a bigger scale, which would be maybe funded. We can put the government pressure to make sure that we put everybody on board. So we have got the right information. What you're going to do is like you're just going to break the ice, go into it, seek how it works, pick points here and there. When you come back, we go to the kitchen, cook properly, and say, look, here it requires so much time, it requires 2 vehicles, it requires a guide here, it requires this best time of the year probably. We can see this, we can see that, and then you're able to get these people. I'm actually impressed that you even have association of YouTubers.
Yeah.
And you have got this great lady Eunice. I've never heard about her.
Yeah.
This is very, very good connection. This interaction here has given me an opportunity to learn more about my country. I have to look for this guy. We must do something together.
Yeah, because when it's funny because like a few like they meet, we usually have meetings as YouTubers, and I keep telling them, especially the ones who do, because they all know, like they're like, Brenda, I think you are just in the wrong industry. You should be in the travel industry, because even here in the US, I love traveling. I love visiting mountains. I love just exploring. And usually they're like, Brenda, you should just be in like travel content. So, and I usually tell the guys who do travel content around Uganda, and I'm like, you guys need to find a way of actually meeting with the people who are in charge of the tourism industry. Most of them, of course, cannot afford, they do this on their own. And some of the challenges they say they meet is, of course, the hotels are very expensive for most of their budgets. So when they're trying to, let's say, showcase Queen Elizabeth, they'll find they can't, they put in their transport, and then they get there, they do content, of course, this content markets that place. But I was like, so they don't get like a full welcome from these hotels, for example, from these parks, so I was like, I wish there's a way like the tourism industry could cater for such people. Like also, I don't know, like give them an incentive in a way, because I believe they are great marketing people who you don't even have to be paying, but just a supplement of like maybe a free accommodation here and there, or free transportation here and there, something like that, I think would go a long way. She's trying to join, but I think, Eunice, if you're trying to join, it says you need to connect your microphone.
Brenda, I don't know what you're saying. It's very, very important to get the people who can write the right information, who can give the right information, well written, that can be acceptable globally. It's very, very, very important, because it's one of the challenges of the tourism sector of Uganda, because we don't have, I don't know if they are there. Of course, now I'm getting to know people here. People can write good content. I can tell you, over 400 tour operators do not have content writers. They copy and paste. They copy from each other and paste. If they edit, they edit a few things here and there. So if people can see value, if a tour operator is going to take someone, a lodge is going to give accommodation, what is the value of that? If you're going to take Herbert, what is the value of Herbert sleeping in your hotel? Over the 1,200 followers of Herbert, how many of those can afford to stay in that hotel? Are they 5, 10, 20? Do I expect them in 2 years' time, or maybe one of them? Or maybe they also have good networks. There must be value for sure. So we must create value. We must assess our values and be able to take people on board. Because if we're going to convince Uganda Tourism Board, Uganda Wildlife Authority, we have these people are going to go, they need gorilla permits, they need chimpanzees, they need entrances. What is the value?
Yes.
If they produce content, what is the value of that content? If we go to their social media pages, what do they write? How good is it? Who can read it, for example? Now, I'm going to launch actually this kind of conversation online for my potential clients in the US and Canada. I'll be having this kind of conversation, but we'll be talking about Uganda. I am still generating information. I want to make sure that I have to generate information, and I have to invite people who have been to Uganda. And I must make sure the people who come there have a capacity to at least buy a tour to Uganda, or sometime 2 years to be able to travel to Uganda. So there must be a value. It's either way. And I'm going to come to Cape May soon. You live in Cape
you
May?
are?
I've been to Cape May many times.
But you know how, but anyway, we haven't finished beef. I will not say.
I come to Cape May. I'm in Philadelphia. I am in Louisiana. No, okay.
You're just a bad guy. Actually, they am calling you a bad guy. But this guy comes all the way to Philadelphia. Philadelphia is just like 45 minutes away from me. You think I don't have accommodation where you can sleep and actually sleep well, and I make for you chai.
I've been to Delaware.
Anyway, so but yeah, I hear what you're saying. So I challenge these guys all the time. I'm like, you need to write your proposals. You need to have proof of like what you guys are doing. You have amazing videos. Like these guys make videos that have about 1 million views on YouTube. That is huge, you guys, if you do not know that. And if you look at the geographies of people who watch their content, they're not Ugandans. Ugandans don't watch that content. So the fact that even right now, most of my people who are watching this video are Americans. So that is a huge promotion of the country. But I understand, yes, they need to come up with the proposals and stuff, and like approach you guys and see how you can actually also uplift whatever they're trying to work on, their goals, especially if you see they're benefiting the tourism industry in the end.
If I knew them before,
Brenda, maybe
like I did, this trip would have taken like 2. It was fully sponsored by Uganda Safaris. We paid accommodation for everybody. We had a group of about 25 people. We're
Wow.
paying everything. We made sure they have, because if you don't do that,
Yeah,
then you don't let people go. But if
that's
you want
true.
people to also become guides, become tour operators, you've got to spend some money and let them go. So that's
Yeah.
what we did. It's not the best time to sponsor groups like this, but we had to take a risk and do it.
Okay.
So Brenda, the same what we will do, like Herbert has said, and for me, I'm extremely grateful that Herbert has joined us today. I believe in Herbert. I trust Herbert. I know he knows what he's doing, and he also knows we know what we are doing. We've had we've had several engagements, and we've shared ideas. We've advised each other. He's guided us as the president, and I think, like I said, for us, we are going to test the waters with one foot. So we hope when we successfully do this, even if we don't successfully do this, we still, I think the awareness we have already created.
Yeah.
This is the first time I mean, how else would I have known you? You are very many miles away from Pennsylvania. The last time I came to America, I was only restricted to New York and Maryland. So I didn't even know there are states called Pennsylvania. I just see these states when the elections are happening. The blue states, the swing states.
You just see them when it's like Black Lives Matter, huh?
They are Black Lives Matter when they are the blue states, the red states, and then Pennsylvania is in the middle there. And the conversation is that all eyes are on Pennsylvania. This is the swing state.
It's
I
a
don't even
big
know what
state.
swing
It's a
state means.
very, very,
I don't,
very big state.
I don't even know what
It's a
swing state
historical
means,
state,
but
yeah.
yeah.
We just lost Herbert. I think he'll join again. But guys, Davis, what do you want to say? What are you looking to achieve this year, for example, for the birding group? How can you encourage like the local tourists, the local population to join the birding association and things like that?
Oh yes. So for this year, I hope to at least get back the people that were on board, but had given it a break because of the situation and the lockdowns and everything. Most nature, for those that avid travelers, the more time you spend in nature, the more knowledge you can retain. So when you're spending your days locked in the houses, passively just watching television, having stuff brought to you, you don't really get to see most of the places, get to know, and maybe keep that information of what you've seen, and also get most of the birders even the new birders that are coming on board, that this is something that you can do to a new pastime. You can be seated at home somewhere in the garden, or you're passing by the road somewhere. The advantage Uganda has is that it's blessed with birds almost every 100, 200 meters you may go. So all around you, even if you're at home in your room, you'll be hearing a bird calling in a distance somewhere. So this I've heard from a couple of my friends who have been complaining a lot that they have turacos that wake them up every morning. You'll be out and you'll be hearing something like a car alarm going at around 4 a.m. and you're wondering, what is this? But because you have a tree in your compound somewhere and it came to spend the night and it's resting, so for it has an early morning.
Are those the
it will be
blackbirds?
waking you
Are
up
those
as well.
the blackbirds? The
Pardon?
turcos? Which ones are those? Are those the blackbirds? There were some birds that I thought they were annoying. Herbert might kill me if I said they were annoying, but they would wake you up, and they woke me up in South Africa. Like by 5, they're already making that huge noise. They had like a long. I was like, dude, it's just 5 a.m. Why are you making noise?
Yes.
They have to. It's their work. That's what they do. They do.
They can never sleep in. I'm like trying to sleep in, and the birds are just like outside the door, as in Johannesburg, and they're like, "Woohoo, woohoo." I was like,
It could have been crows, miners, or
Yeah, I guess they could have. Yeah, they're
Yes.
black. They look like Yongo, but they're not Yongos.
they could
Yeah,
be miners.
so
Could be
maybe I can as well.
black
I would
cranes.
maybe advise the domestic tourists, for those that would love to travel, that they should at least do adequate research first and foremost, because even people that we get here, the tourists that we get come here and they do research extensively on the country they're going to visit. What's the weather like? What are the necessities do I need to carry with me? So for the domestic tourists, it's the same thing. Yes, it's your country, but you need to know that as a Ugandan, if I'm traveling here, what do I need to carry with me, and how far is it? What activities can I do in these places, so that you can plan better? Because most people, when you tell them, oh, you're going here, it will cost you this much, they will back away immediately thinking, no, that's too expensive. And like, you get, by the time you break it down to them that you as a tour operator or as somebody organizing a trip for them, you actually stand to gain a lot less than they think you will, because most of the money is spent in the hotels, in the activities. So they think, oh no, this person is trying to cheat us of our money, but which is not the case. Then also to be careful, you know, just like how there some people may be, some nefarious characters may be out there and organizing things and without them knowing. So because you do not want to do research and you're thinking, oh, well, this person is organizing this, let me just put it there, without doing some due diligence, there may be some, it's why even most people give up on travels, because they think, oh no, there are thieves in there, they're going to rob me. So yeah, it's just a matter of just making sure you have your due diligence, do some research about the places you're going to visit, and see how much, because most of the hotels, even the parks, the park authority, they subsidize prices for the Ugandans. Find Ugandans are paying a lot less than a tourist is paying. So which should be something that should encourage more travelers to get on board and visit all these beautiful attractions we have in these countries, in the country here, in our country. I would also encourage people to have that travel bag, bite them so that they can, you know, get to experience what it means to be in the wild, because we've just come from Western Uganda. We're going to visit the Bigobya Mugenyi area. We also went to see some stones. Yes. Amabare Gomugore. So we've also
I hope you
been
guys
there,
got the whole history
it was
about
just
those stones. 'cause
inspiring
the
place.
history-
I had not seen that side of the Bachwezi before. You know, in history in school, we're just taught, yeah, Bachwezi were demigods. That's it. Now, here I get to know that, oh, actually, there's a lot more to it than just being demigods. That they actually had
Did you see any Bachwezi there?
We may have left with some. We are waiting to see tonight. They told us that if you dream of something, then yes, you are blessed.
God, you're in trouble. You're in trouble.
They caused rain to us. They purchased poured on us a lot of rain in January in dry season, something we never heard of. We don't know what wrong we did to them. They punished us severely. We almost got lost there.
Oh wow! They don't like visitors. By the way, they don't like guests. So you have to tread carefully there. But yeah, so thanks so much, Davis. Herbert and Isaiah, how can you, I know I was looking at, Isaiah, I was looking at one of your agendas, the things that you had, and I know you're planning on engaging, using sports to promote tourism. So you're planning like some sports events, and how do you think these are going to be successful? It could be Herbert, it could be Isaiah to answer this. And what kind of sports events are you looking at?
So we are looking at mostly marathons, because in the recent past, Uganda has had global success on the marathon scene with Cheptegei, with Kiprotich. And then and Uganda Tourism Board and the Ministry of Tourism, they have engaged these activities to promote the country. So what we want to do, we would like, in partnership with various stakeholders, the Ghana Wildlife Authority, the ministry, the donor communities, the diplomatic corps, to organize an Ergon marathon. Then we shall also have an Albertine Graben marathon, and then we also have a Mount Wenzori marathon. So these marathons, these sports activities, people can run, people can jog, people can walk, people can ride there. So they are multi-pronged. It enables people to be healthy, it creates awareness, and then we still are able to conserve our assets for future generations. So that's the intention of doing these sports-related activities. We've also, I must add, had a lot of success engaging Miss Uganda Foundation. We've had them on some of our trips, the Beauty Queens, Miss Uganda. And when she was going to Puerto Rico, we created a beautiful video with her that probably you saw.
Yeah.
Went a bit viral. And we like I've always said, or like you all know, by ourselves we can't do much, but together as a team, like I've said before, we can achieve so much more. Because traditionally, world over, there are people who look out for these beauty queens and they follow them. And the Miss World event is happening. I'm told probably over 1 billion people eventually get to see this event.
Yeah, Mrs. World, yeah.
Yeah. And then, so these platforms are very powerful platforms. When Kiprotich or Cheptegei, they are doing these marathons across the globe in the Olympics and these other marathons, like the whole world is literally watching. So if they are able, even if for 2 seconds, say Uganda, the best place to run, I believe it creates an impact. It leaves a lasting image out there. And we can opportunistically use these opportunities to market our country. This is what I think, Brenda.
Yeah.
Maybe Mr. Biaranga can add. I'm sure he has more insights.
Not much, but of course, when you have these areas, especially engaging the youth, and you have events for sports in those areas, all types of tourist activities involved. Bicycle riding, you get to see people running in the Kapchorwa area, people activities in national parks. It's all about encouraging the youth, encouraging the youth in both in Uganda and outside Uganda to be able to come to Uganda on these events. I remember there used to be an event of goat racing, and many people would go goat racing. So if we can popularize some of the events, I can tell you they will be added on the packages, and people will be able to come and even join the locals and compete together. Because I'm sure even if it was cooking alone, traditional meals cooking, people would come and compete. I've had clients who have asked me, how can they participate in such a thing? Because I was discussing with them and they told me, how can we participate? Because they would want to come and see an African woman, Brenda, preparing breakfast for her husband, and they want to see the Africans want to see an American woman preparing, breakfast for her husband, something like that. And at the end of the day, everybody share the experience, and it makes a good deal. So sports are not only the big ones where people run. You can even also do these active participatory activities that can create competition, and of course, at the end of the day, becomes a very beautiful event.
I agree. And I think, so I think there's so many areas to explore, but like you said, you guys will sit together if you can combine your efforts. Some people have ideas, they don't know how to bring those ideas to life. So, but when I have an idea, I tell it to Herbert, I tell it to Isaiah, I tell it to Davis. Maybe one of you guys knows how that idea can be brought to life. So that's where the teamwork, like everybody has something to chip in, and then you all decide on, like, you know what, I think we can do it this way. You think you can be successful this way. Like now, Herbert just mentioned about food. the cultural aspect of food, like how different people make foods, different foods for their families or whatever. And before you joined, we were just talking about this with Isaiah. I was telling him, I'm like, there's like this thing of like the beer festival in Germany. That's a huge event. And it's all about beers and people getting together and eating hot dogs. I mean, Uganda had something similar, which is like the wine, like that wine thing that people get together, but it's usually for like, the youth and all that stuff. But if an event like for traditional meals preparation, for example, we have about, how many tribes do we have? Like 50 something tribes in Uganda. If you can have an event, around like all the 57 tribes meal preparations, they're different meals, they're different ways of how they prepare those meals. That would be an amazing cultural event to attend. And it could even attract people from outside the world, foodies. The foodies community is huge around the world. And they always, like, there's that guy who used to travel and did documentaries. His documentaries fetched like millions and millions of views in no time, but he would just travel around the world trying different new foods around the continent. And it started bringing lots of tourists to places like South Africa. South Africa does like an event, a food carnival, which attracts lots and lots of tourists. But hey, I don't know what you guys want to add. We've been here for 2 hours. I would love to go have my breakfast, and Herbert is probably
Oh,
very tired.
breakfast.
Yes. So what are the last remarks you guys want to say? What do you want to say to anybody who'll be watching this, who's watching this? What's the next goal for us as a group to push tourism ahead?
Question: when does this happen? When do you do these events with these conversations?
This is actually the first one with this group. We just started today. This is the first one with Isaiah. Yes.
It's the first of the many that we are trying to line up. Mr. President, with your permission. Come again?
I was asking Brenda. She told me, we communicated a few weeks ago. She told me she was doing something when she was looking for photos. What are you doing other than this? There's something you're trying to develop. Brenda.
Huh? I don't think I understand your question, Herbert.
Brenda, you told me the other day.
Yeah.
You are trying to do something.
Yeah.
Is it on your YouTube or something like that?
Oh, yes. So what I do on my YouTube, Herbert, there's a section which I call Bringing Africa to the Rest of the World. And I started bringing in videos of Africa from different parts of Africa. So whatever in Africa I travel to, I do some videos about different things and I post them on my YouTube channel. Because so many people who were following me on YouTube were asking me how, like questions about Uganda. So I found that that was one of the best ways for me to showcase Africa, to showcase Uganda to the rest of the world, to people. If anybody asks me, Brenda, do you guys hang out with lions in your backyard? I'm like, you know what? Here's my link to some of my videos. You can watch and see actually what Uganda is all about. So that's what when I asked you for those videos, there's a guy who asked me, Zachary, Brenda, what is the recent number of gorillas, or what events are happening? So I actually posted that short video that you sent me of the gorillas. I was like, this is like a raw footage of a live encounter with the gorillas. And so I posted it on my YouTube. It has about, actually on my TikTok, it has 3,000 views. And all I did was, this is what you could achieve if you visited Uganda and you did a gorilla trekking event. It's just simple, but it creates lots and lots of awareness. So what these people help me, when I get like real legit videos about events in Uganda, I'm able to post those when I know I don't have any copyrights from anybody. go a long way marketing Uganda, for example. So that's why I am actually very excited for this, because I know I'll be dealing with people who are in tourism. If they want, for example, to market their hotels, people like Emburara guys reached out to me. They sent me a footage of their hotel, of their lodge. People like Ishazi Mukombozo reached out to me. Well, that one is family, is my cousin, is my first cousin. But and then Chimpundu's, those guys reached out to me. So any other people, like what I do is just to promote my country, and this is the best way I can do it if I have exact raw footage from these places. So that's why I was asking you for those videos. Like I put them together and I gave you credit. I said you can contact Herbert via Mhanga. I used your Gmail address. So I hope you get people reaching out to see if they can visit.
But that's very nice, very very nice, and I've liked this. I hope it is going to grow. And every time I come to America, I feel like, where's Brenda now? But how do I get to Brenda? It's going to be very far. Okay, she's busy. I'm busy. Okay, see you. I go bird watching. Every time I come, I think about you. But I'm like, how can I get there? Especially when I'm in the East. I'm always, how can I find her? I'm busy. We shall meet. So, if this thing doesn't kill us, I'll be coming in probably from February or March.
Okay.
I'll be coming there. Maybe somehow we shall maybe make
yeah
contact.
I would like us Herbert, one of the requests I have is I need to have a deeper connection with the guys in Washington and the guys in New York. I feel if we can actually actively involve them in such events, it creates more awareness for them as well. Isaiah, you were telling me about what's his name, the guy in
Ambassador Academia Ayebare.
Yes, Ayebare. So to me, I'm so passionate about tourism.
I will share his contact with you.
Yeah.
You can reach out to him. He's a very vibrant, very receptive gentleman. And then I also find out who the new ambassador that was posted to Washington is.
Because I hosted the embassy on my channel, because I was trying to tell them different things that they can do to improve relationships between the embassy and the people in the diaspora. So, and Katende was very approachable. So he said, "Oh, Brenda," I said, "there's zero communication between you as an embassy that represents Ugandans in the US and the people in the US." So there's that disconnection, and this is killing so many different sectors back in our country. It could be awareness in tourism, opportunities. Like who do we have in the embassy that actually advocates for travel back to Uganda, even to fellow Ugandans? When I attend these UNA events, they have every year they have an association that does get-togethers for Ugandans. UNA. This year it's going to be in San Diego. So you find you're bringing people, or you have events, let's say in New York, which are about tourism, but you find you're bringing people from Uganda to talk about tourism to Americans. And yet you have people who are in America that could actually easily, at almost zero cost, be able, if we are equipped with this information, if I know all the updates in the tourism industry, this is going to be helpful for me. I can easily represent Uganda in New York any day. How about you could say, "Hey, Brenda, we have Birdwatchers Association. Can you go attend?" And I'm there. I have lived with Americans since 2007. I know how they act. I know how they do things.
You're an American.
I'm American. I hold a U.S. passport. So but it's easy.
Brenda,
yes, I'm a dual citizen.
Yes. I have a Ugandan night very soon. The information I'm getting seems it might shift, but I was going to have a Uganda night. I've been trying to get in touch with the embassy. I finally got some contacts. I wanted Washington and New York. I was at New York. I was Stephen Asimo for the whole day, training them about tourism in Uganda. But it's quite a process of getting people understand, change their attitudes. But the good thing, I got some contacts now into the embassies. So now that I have confirmed with you now, your passion you've been telling me, now I can still read it. I'll definitely keep you in the loop if I'm going to have this event. We wanted to have probably get Ugandan dancers come there, and I have people who have been coming here for the African Birding Expo, especially from the US market. They can come and talk on our behalf.
Yeah.
They can talk about the experiences. I don't have to go and talk much because they can speak with fellow colleagues from US.
Yeah.
And I think that's the approach we need to have. But I really love to have the embassies involved because our embassies would be able to be a better big job if they can get to know who's passionate about tourism, whom they can work with. I am also passionate. I mean, I'm very happy, Brenda, you mentioned something nice. But if I know there is an event where you can represent Uganda, we can make a deal. We can work out a deal. I send you my.
Brenda, I hereby appoint you on record a breathtaking Uganda ambassador.
You got it. You got it. You got it. How about your internet?
I have to go. I'm good tonight. Bye-bye.
Herbert is leaving.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Herbert. We'll keep in touch. You have my number now. I have your number. We'll definitely keep in touch. And we plan to be doing these videos with Isaiah and the group more frequently. So maybe we could have like new updates on like their travels. We plan to be having those. Maybe we could even plan like a monthly meeting with the tourism sector to just update people on what's happening, on new discoveries, or anything really. So we could plan at least every month for a bigger video, a bigger interaction like this, where we have like the big stakeholders coming in and talking about tourism. This is a free, I mean, it's not free because you're putting in your internet bundles and stuff, but it's the easiest way to reach out to the masses and to keep people, to increase your PR. This is like the best PR you can actually have, because you have so many people who watch, so many people in the diaspora, so many groups who will watch these things. So it's on record, you know, so you don't have to keep repeating yourself. If somebody has a question, you just refer them to a video that you did one time. So it's one of the goals we have, Herbert. But take care. Thanks again for joining us today. We really appreciate.
Very excited, Brenda. I have to please call me. I'm happy to talk to many people. You know, we can always even invite friends in the US to listen about Uganda.
Yes.
What we about Uganda, we can always invite them. I have so many friends in the US and Canada and South America. I can always invite to meet Ugandans in a conversation about Uganda, and we just get some presentation. We talk about it and what we offer, what we have. You know, it's a quick thing. You know, before you know it, you are the ambassador there. Okay.
I have already.
Isaiah, we can have our own tourism ambassador.
Yes.
I think we have the powers now to do that. Good day.
Mr. President, you have the powers.
He has the powers. You know, we are in things.
He has the powers. Yeah, we are in things. You know, for me, this is very impressive. Have a president on the show. Amazing stuff. I'm really impressed. You know. Thank you
Before
so
you
much,
know it,
Brenda.
we'll have the ministers, we'll have those big stakeholders in the tourism sector, and I think it's a win-win situation. When I think about it, it's a win-win for all of us. It's a win-win for the country. It's a win-win for the sector, and even the president. We might even have the first lady, not the first lady, but the daughter, because I see she's more involved now. Not Natasha,
that's correct.
but the other one.
Diana. Yeah. So we'll do this, Brenda. Thank you so much. I also need to politely request to be allowed to go.
Yeah, me too.
If there are no more questions.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Look at this, Gloria is just joining. Thank you again. Take care. We look forward. Isaiah, keep me posted on your adventures and when we can always meet. We just a WhatsApp or call away, and we'll take it from there. And again, good luck to you guys. If you have any new
Thank you
developments that you'd
so
like me
much.
to know and share, please just reach out, and I'll definitely do that as well. And Davis, keep
So much.
birding.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Take
Bye-bye.
care.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us today. It was very, very entertaining, interesting, and very educative. We will be doing this again more often, but I want to say thank you so much for everybody who watched us, who was watching us, who commented, who shared us out there, and we hope this was helpful. If you have any more questions, feel free to leave them in the comment section of this video. We'll definitely get back to you. But otherwise, we are on the road to 60 years anniversary for Uganda since its independence. And again, don't forget to get your Ondawa t-shirts and take care. Let's travel. You could be just a Ugandan or any Africans out there. Visit Uganda, explore Uganda, and let's grow together. Take care. Have a great Sunday. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.